Does this ring any bells for Urantia scholars? All right, so with these biases out of the way, and a theory currently developing, let's talk about two culprits I would like to point the finger at as to the true origins of these stories. So in other words, who were likely the first ones to originate these stories to these then primitive peoples in the first place? If we simply put aside for the moment the possibility that these stories in the Kolbrin Bible were folklore, and begin assuming that they are shadowy representations of actual human events, the two sources I would presume that these narratives stem from would either be the extremely ancient corporeal staff of Calugastia, of which I would imagine would represent either 500,000 years ago, found in 66.0.2, to about 200,000 years ago, when the Lucifer Rebellion began. According to the Urantia, these numbers are staggering, meaning that if we were to assume that a majority of these God and origin concepts came from these initial teachers of God, then they would have at least 200,000 years to confabulate and butcher these stories entirely. More likely, in my mind, we can posit that these stories originated from our vice-regent planetary prince, Melchizedek, who was then known as the Sage of Salem. Salem is the region that is also known as the southern Levant region of Canaan, which is the lower eastern hill of Jerusalem, near the Gihon Spring. Does this ring any bells for Urantia scholars? Since that day of his arrival was roughly 4,000 years ago, in 93.2.1. Now, the true origins of at least parts of the Kolbrin Bible start developing nicely, at least when it comes to corroborating dates. Again, of that 3,600 years ago.